Chase Lee Hockey here at the Blue Futon, going to discuss Scream 6 spoilers. Usually, I'm not into doing spoilers, not anti-spoiler reviews, you know what I mean? But with Scream 6, I feel like with some people commenting on the video as well as my letterbox, that I think I just need to do this to just get everything out on the table. With the letterbox, there are some people saying, you don't know what satire is, or you don't know the reason of the Scream movies. I think I do. I mean, I own all six of them. No, I don't own six of them. I own five of them. Seen six of them. And I own some of them on 4K. I'm trying to look for them right now, so that's what I'm doing right there. I own Scream 1, Scream 2 on 4K, Scream 5 on 4K, and 3 and 4 on Blu-ray. So I'm guessing 3 and 4 are going to come out soon on 4K. Anyway, so with this movie, I thought it was better than the fifth one. I did not like the fifth one whatsoever. But it is still only a small upgrade from the stupidity of the characters and some of the writing in the story. So I'm going to go through the story just a little bit and talk about what I think is stupid and where I think the audience should be like, that's a hint, that was stupid. So anyway, let's start it off. So it starts off with Samara Weaving in a bar, and what do you know? She gets killed by these two rich people. I think that you could guess the rich people from Georgia that want to, kill the two main characters from the fifth one to continue on with the storyline. Because you know what? A lot of people in the world think, this lady that survived the Westboro murders actually framed the boyfriend. And the boyfriend from the first or fifth one, Jack Quaid's character, and he's going to come back to the end of the story. He is dead, but maybe someone in his life isn't. So what do you know? We get a brutal killing in the first, as well as more killing, because you know what? Those two people that are killing Samara Weaving and want to kill the two main characters, Jenna Ortega and Michelle Barrera from the fifth one. You know what? The real Ghostface or the real Ghostface is like, nah, you ain't fucking with my plans, so you're going to get sliced and diced as well. All right? So we already have 3 murders in the first 5, 7, 10 minutes of the movie. So sure, I dig it. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of into this. Now, we are continuing on with the main characters from the fifth one. They're in New York now. One of them's trying to live their life in college, and that is Jenna Ortega. Jenna, or is it Jenny Ortega's character? Whatever. And try to live her life. What do? But her sister is saying, you know what? I'm going to be a helicopter sister and make sure that you do not die. Well, shit you not, about 10 minutes later, another murder has happened, and now they are in danger. And now we're going through the whole montage, you want to put it that way, like, oh, this is going to be a twist of a movie. And now, since it's not a sequel, it's a requel. And you know what that means? Is anyone can die. It doesn't matter if the legacy characters are not. Which makes me wonder, because requel was kind of a new word. But if you continue on through this story, Hayden Patterson's character knows what a requel is. I'd never heard of a requel before this movie, so I guess she knows that they're talking about a requel. Anyway, continue on, blah, blah, blah. More murders happen, love lives, everything like that. And you know what? If you notice, there is like a flag right here on a jacket. That is all I'm going to say. Some propaganda, in my opinion. So anyway, we're going through the whole, you could be a killer, you could be a killer. And since we are the 4 that survived the first one, we can't be the killers. Well, I mean, whatever. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so now we go, and one of the roommates now dies. And this roommate, this roommate father is a cop of the NYPD. And now he's distraught. He's like, my daughter's dead, and now I gotta kill this son of a bitch. But what do you know? Quinn, the character, didn't die. So this is where I kind of joked on Letterboxd, saying, I need Gil Grissom from Las Vegas to come to the NYPD force, because apparently they don't know what the fuck a dead body looks like. There's got to be someone in the police force to be like, if it was a fake, if Quinn's murder was a fake, so no one noticed this random dead girl's fake blood everywhere, like there's no like red flags going, wait a minute, this motherfucker is dead in the tub, then we have this other girl that fell from a ladder, right? And now we have this other crime scene, if you want to put it that way, with random blood everywhere. No one's questioning that. No one in the NYPD is fucking questioning how there's a fake crime scene and it looked like a body should have been there. Or if the body was there, the dead, she was dead, but then no one noticed that she came back to life. Like, seriously, huge plot hole there where it's just like, no one in the NYPD noticed this random fucking huge bloody crime scene with no body. No red flags whatsoever. Okay, a little bit awkward. All right, let's continue on with the story. They find this lair, right? And this lair, huge also writing error. Huge lair, right? And now you have this TV from the second movie. You have the knife from the first movie. You have all these props from the real life killing, not in the stab movies, the real life killing, right? And one of the characters go, how do they get all this evidence? And one of the other characters goes, well, cops like a lot of money and cops can get this evidence. Ding, 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 ding. There are literally only 2 cops or FBI agents now in this whole story because they're not going to bring anyone from the blue. So now you know the killer is either the main NYPD cop or Hayden Patterson. I'm pretty sure I'm saying her last name wrong. Character who's in the FBI. But let's be fucking blunt. You can't have the girl from the 4th movie be the killer. So you know for a fact it is the NYPD cop. So you're like, there you go. You know who the killer is. Period. Dot. End of subject. And you know for a fact that it's going to be another character because it is a double killer. Because just like the other one, you're like, how is that character there and how is that character there? Which I really do not like how these characters are all different fucking sizes, but they all look the same in their uniform, in their Ghostface uniform. They really got to figure that shit out, in my opinion. So at that time in the movie where they find this lair, I'm like, you know what? He's the killer. Period. Dot. It's fucking cheap writing. You just got to pay attention. Just like I said, Knives Out, both of them. Pay attention to the dialogue in these movies. They're treating the audience like they're fucking stupid. We are not stupid. Okay, so you have that. So I'm like, okay, that's the killer. And what do you know? He is the killer. They do some twist where it's like, oh, it's actually a trio of killers. And it's the dad, the son, and the Quinn character. And the son character, I think, is Chad, who is a roommate. And they're just like, oh, we did this by the lottery and shit like that. So you're just like, whatever. I understand what you're doing this for because they killed. It was just fucking weird. And like, the family's like, it felt like that movie Sick. Yes, now it's coming back to me where the Sick is like, well, since my son was a psychopath and got sick by COVID, I'm going to be psychopath. So you're like, yo, my son murdered a shit ton of people. So now I feel like I got to murder the people that murdered him, even though he murdered a fuck ton of people. At that point, when I grow up and have a son or daughter and she's a serial killer, I'm not revenging her death. She fucked so many people's lives up. So I just hate that storyline too as a whole, where it's just like, yo, your son's a psychopath. He killed multiple people. It's time to just let him go and be like, yo, I'm so fucked. And you would think that way, that he's a cop, right? His son murdered a fuck ton of people. So you think that's never going to trace back to him whatsoever? Like, wait a minute. I've seen pictures. Your son is a fucking murderer. Or because there's a conspiracy theory saying he was framed. So no one in the NYPD knows about this relationship. Another red flag. It's like, what the fuck, people? All right, then we go on. Courteney Cox is like, you know what? I'm going to shoot this motherfucker in the head. She misses. Okay, gets stabbed. Okay, she's like the only semi-smart one in this film that like try to kill this person. But here we go. Now the final showdown, right? Oh my god, we're stuck in here. And there's a bunch of shit happening, right? People getting stabbed left and fucking right. Especially this Chad character, right? And this is where a lot of people are saying, well, this is satire. Anyone could survive 25 stabs. Okay, please tell me how you're going to stab when these are carrying their arm. And they're literally stabbing him in the heart and fucking lungs and gut. Okay? Everywhere. Heart, lungs. There's fucking arteries everywhere. And people are like, oh, people have been stabbed 25 times. Nah. Not when 2 people are holding you. The 2 knives are literally going fucking everywhere in the chest. I'm sorry. Either these knife wounds, 17 of them, are the luckiest fucking stab wounds ever, or no. I'm sorry. Not believable whatsoever. And also, there's this other scene. So, right? The cop has a gun. The sister, Michelle Barrera's character, her gun is out, right? So she's like, oh, fuck, I got no bullets in here. But the cop knows he has bullets because if it is a Glock or something like that, you got about 10 rounds. But if you have a Canex gun, it could be 18 rounds. So I'm going to guess his gun has between 10 and 18 rounds, okay? There is no fucking way. No, it's impossible because I've seen how many gunshots. There was no way it was 10 to 18. So instead of him shooting, he runs at her with a loaded gun. Like, ah! The stupidness of this. All right, so that's the other thing. But before that, Jenna Ortega's character says, you gotta give me the knife. You gotta trust me. You gotta let me go. All right, she lets go. She gets stabbed in the fucking gut or in this region, right? And then she, bam, stabs the dude in the mouth. All right, so that guy's dead. Fair enough. Whatever. So then, people are dying. People are stabbing. Michelle Barrera's character is actually smart and shoots a motherfucker in the head. But let's rewind a little bit, right? Before Chad gets stabbed 1,700 times, he grabs a camera and, tosses on a head. Does no one watch fucking Zombieland? Double tap. Make sure motherfuckers are dead. Is it that hard to, smack him on the head 3 times with this huge fucking camcorder, take the mask off and be like, oh, fuck. Or just, I hate this whole part of, I'm gonna stab you in the fucking pinky. Run! He's dead! He's fucking dead! It's like, no, he's not dead. It's like, my fucking baby Jesus. These characters are fucking stupid and deserve to die at a point. And, they deserve to fucking die. Let's put it that way. Okay? And so, let's continue on with the final scene where they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need therapy. Same as I. But the Jenna Ortega's character literally got stabbed in the gut in this area, and she's acting like she's fucking fine. I swear to God, I had an 8-year-old and a 13 or 11-year-old. Yes, 8 and 11-year-old next to me in the theater, and they were questioning shit like, what the fuck? And they didn't say what the fuck. They're like, that makes no sense. And I said, literally, what happened to her stabber? And the little girl who's 8 goes, I know, right? She has more common sense than these fucking writers do. So I'm like, okay. So I'm assuming everyone of the main characters that gets stabbed is a fucking paper cut. I'm thinking it's literally, okay, there's a cover on this, right? I think they get stabbed like this. I think that's what the stab is. It's not a real stab. For some reason, the main characters, the people that want to do the killing go, oh, fuck, you're a main character. I gotta put this sheave on our cover to make sure that it looks like you're dying, but you're really not. And I know some people are like, oh, but yeah, I just feel like these 4 main characters, at least in the first and second one, they dispose some of the characters. Here, it's like, oh, we can't get rid of these characters. So I don't give a shit about that, but it's kind of it's very noticeable where just like the 5th one, those twins were in fucking catastrophic, accidents, but someone died. And let's talk about that in the 5th one. This motherfucker gets stabbed so fucking hard in the subway. And this is the girl, one of the twins, the one who's lesbian. She gets stabbed like a bitch in this fucking gut. I mean, it's like a tomb, twist, boom. And then later in the day, she's literally running to the ambulance like, I'm on drugs and I feel fine. I wasn't going to the hospital. Your fucking intestines and gut are fucking gone. And then right when she runs that way, anyway, she's like, I know who the killer is. It's this person, with no reason about why she knows that is the killer. And then she's like, oh, did I miss the monologue or whatever? And it's like, no, you didn't. How the fuck did you figure it out? Please let me know, because there's no rhyme, reason, or buts that you know that person was the killer, or those people were the killer. No clue. You don't. I'm sorry. So there's that. So that's what I'm saying. These twins are fucking Quicksilver and goddamn Scarlet Witch from Age of Ultron. Except at least Quicksilver dies in this one. This one, they're fucking superheroes. I mean, knives to them? Shit. It's basically like fucking Black Adam in this bitch. Knives don't do shit to these motherfuckers. I mean, it's like, nah, man, nah. You can stab me as many times as you want. I have fucking superhero powers in this goddamn Scream franchise. And you're just like, whatever. So, very end, the same 4 people from the 5th one survive. Except then the new cute Dan or Dave character that's across the hall. He was safe, and you always knew he was going to be safe because of that. So yes, what I realized in the Scream franchise. A, if you're one of the main characters get stabbed, you're going to survive. It doesn't matter how deep the stab wound is. Doesn't matter where you get stabbed. Doesn't matter how many times you get stabbed. You are going to survive. Period. End of subject. And 2, don't run with a gun if you know it has fucking loaded rounds in it. But overall, it's a fine movie. Like I said, right when you see the shrine scene on, it's a downhill spiral for me because it makes no fucking sense. It's ridiculous. I know some people, like I said, oh, you just don't understand what it's trying to go for. It's a satire of all the other ones and doing stab and all the other ones. Yes, it can be, but my God, let's put a little bit of realism. I'm not the only one. John Flickpick and other people out there just saying, like, what? There's got to be at least something. At least, like I said, in the 4th one, there's some believability factor of the death and who is happening. And some people, once you're dead, you're fucking dead. And that's the problem. In the 5th one and 6th one, doesn't matter. You get stabbed 17 million times, Guinness Book of World Records. But if you're a main character, you ain't fucking dying. So overall, that's my spoiler of the movie about how everything just doesn't make sense, how the story is very simplistic, and if you just pay attention to little pieces of the dialogue here and there, and just know how everything in Hollywood has to be diverse, and it can't be this type of character, and this can't be this type of character, and that's the issue. Even with California right now saying if you don't have enough diversity, you're not going to get tax credit anymore, you got to think about now movies now. Even the guy from The Big Sick and Silicon Valley's like, since I'm Pakistani, I think he's Pakistani, I can't be the bad guy anymore. In Hollywood, the thing is, if you're white, you're the bad guy. If it's anything else, you can't be the bad guy. It's like, oh, fuck, is he really saying that? And apparently it's true, because that's the same thing what happened with Scream fucking 6. So, when I see movies like this, I literally go, what's the quota? What's the diversity? What's the inclusion? The exclusivity of what Hollywood's trying to do with these characters and who the bad guy is. And it's literally, well, it's not going to be that girl character. It's not going to be that character. It's going to be that white man. And I was right! What the fuck do I know? God, I hate bringing race into some shit, but you know what? It feels like it just is fucking just so, it has to be now in Hollywood. Like, it literally does. Especially, like I said, with California bringing up that shit where there's not enough diversity in a movie, you can't get tax credit. Or now Oscars, if you don't have XYZ quota to a movie, you can't get nominated anymore. It's like, what are we fucking doing with our lives? How about we just try to live, make a good movie, and don't have a quota, and just have a fucking good movie? Is it that fucking hard? Like, seriously. She's talking with the Blue Futon, like, comment, subscribe, let me know things, Blue Futon, Blue Futon, watch, have a great day. And why is it only Hollywood? Like, I want to see, like, a China movie where it has a diverse cast, or any other, like, country except, you know, some European ones in America. You're not going to see it. So, just make a good movie. Then we want to look at America. If we really want to go by statistics and data, that's all I'm going to say. I'm kind of rambling on with shit that's not about Scream 6, but it kind of is, because, like I said, even as doing it with Dungeons and Dragons, the directors are saying it. They're emasculating men now. It's like Chris Pine loves to do it. Ah, fucking movies, man.